in central Scotland.
In March 2007, on Easter Sunday, Alex left home to walk his dog, but didn't return. Hours later, police, rescue groups and helicopters were on the hunt for him. It was the start of a frantic search for a high-risk missing person. In the Scottish town of Cambers Barron near Stirling, the whole community is mobilised in an effort to find missing Alex. Local residents, the police and a search team with dogs are scouring every inch of the local area.
Alex suffered from Down syndrome and that obviously made him high risk. So we obviously had to consider what possibly might have happened to him.
So as the hours went on and Alex still hadn't come home, what resources did you put into place to find him?
Time is critical when it's a high risk and when it's an unexplained missing person. And really, the initial part of the search, as with any, is to blitz the area with as many resources as we can to see if we can locate. On the initial night he went missing, we had called in our colleagues from Search and Rescue Dog Association. These people are heavily trained in working in a kind of mountain or rural environment. We had our own local officers searching his house, his gardens, round about the area in case he'd fallen, he was lying under somewhere. We think of all the different things that could possibly happen to a missing person, we list them, and then we go with what's the most obvious first.
We went through the woods, had a look through, we were shouting, we went down and checked the quarry, which was worst case scenario just in case you did find them, because it wouldn't be the first person that's went off the edge of the quarry. But there was no sign of the dog either, which we thought was strange, because Murphy's dog is always with him, never leaves him. And we shouted and shouted and shouted.
We were all just walking, looking in ditches, shouting on him, and you thought, is this going to end in tragedy?
When you get a phone call at night saying that there's no explanation for him going missing, because he's not the type of lad to wander off himself, you start to think the worst.
It was remarkable how many people just gave up what they were doing so that they could go out and look for him.
Everybody keeps a wee eye open for him, just keeps an eye on him even since he was young. Everybody kind of looks after Alec.
He's been really much central to the village since he was born.
He's a fun-loving guy, and he's got a heart of gold. He would do anything for you at all, anything at all.
But after a whole night of searching, the town started preparing for the worst.
The chances of finding someone alive in the circumstances that we expected him to be are slim.
It was just shattering, and I think everybody was the same. It is a nightmare.
On the morning after Alex's disappearance, the search took on a new urgency as mountain rescue teams were called in. So how can you possibly determine what sort of plan or strategy that you and your team take?
Right. What people tend to do is they tend to behave in a certain way. We have information which gives us an idea as to how somebody will react in a given situation, given what particular condition they may have. So we can use that as a tool to help us to decide where to put people and where to put the resources. We knew from our statistics that he was likely to be within a 2 to 3 kilometre radius of where he was last seen, and he was also likely to be attracted to buildings and or deep forest. Which certainly informed my thought process when I was trying to work out where to put people and obviously where to put the search dogs, because obviously forest is searched much easier by dogs.
And obviously where Alec went missing, there's obviously a lot of potential danger all around that area, wasn't there?
I mean, it was very dense woodland. There was a lot of it was fallen trees. There was 2-3 quarries within the vicinity, So we were thinking there's a lot of areas where he could potentially have hurt himself.
With Alex in grave danger, a helicopter equipped with an infrared search camera was scrambled to join the hunt.
Helicopter flew the area, because they've got various technology that can locate a person, but there's certain things that they can't do.
From an aerial point of view, the infrared camera might not always pick things up in such dense woodland as you've got here.
And that was something that Strathclyde said to us, that you know, you'll need to concentrate on these areas because there are limitations to what they can actually do.
8:38, just before land.
Clearly, he was a very vulnerable missing person, wasn't he? And as time goes on, in any missing people case, speed is of the essence.
Definitely that time of year as well. It had been cold overnight, so we had a couple of search dogs out at night, and then I was called out for a search on the Monday morning along with the mountain rescue team. This way. Alex had been missing for about 18 hours by the time I had arrived, so I was given this part of the forest near the quarry to go and search. We'd been searching for about 45 minutes. The dog had been showing a lot of interest. He'd always on the move, and then all of a sudden he disappeared, which he generally does anyways, but there was a bit more urgency about it this time. He came back and there was another dog with him. Kieran come back and indicated to me, and then took me in, and there was Alex.
Against all the odds, they'd found him.
And my heart stops for a minute at that point, because obviously I've been involved in so many of these things that you're waiting for the next piece of information to come in.
Hi Alex, my name's Paul. I'm with the mountain rescue team. I'm here to help you, okay? I'm just going to do a quick video call, and then we're going to get you sorted out and get you back home, okay?
And when they said we found him and he's alive, then you know, those people standing beside me, and you know, the kind of cheer went up.
Local base dog Paul, priority.
Go ahead, dog, Paul, it's local base, coming over.
He was cold, hungry, he'd lost his shoes, he was wet up to his waist. So yeah, it was good to find him, and I think he was happy to see me coming around the corner as well.
Okay, nice job, Paul, well done. Peace out.
One of the lads had a radio, and it came over the radio saying, he's been found. And I can't tell you with that, it'd be like winning the lottery to hear that, because all your thoughts just go, is he okay? He's fine.
But to get the call eventually to say that you have been found, oh goodness, it was just amazing. It was amazing.
So that guy with his dog that found him, I take my hat off to him. Without him, perhaps Alec would have ended up staying out another night, and things might not have had such a happy ending, if you know what I mean.
I've been involved in hundreds and hundreds of missing persons, and this was the one that sticks with me. I talk about it when I go and give presentations. I always speak about the community spirit I came across there, and missing person inquiries can, you know, not to lose sight of the fact that there is always hope, and keep going, and that's what we did, and we got the result we got.
Betty, how are you? Exactly.
Is Alex in?
Yes.
Is it alright if we come in and say hello? Brilliant. You coming in? So Alex, it's first time I've met you, but it must be nice for you to see Paul again.
Yeah.
And Ken.
Yeah, it's very nice to see Paul and the dog again.
Do you remember the dog from before?
Yeah.
And I bet, Alex, you were very relieved when Paul and Ken found you, because I understand you lost your shoes.
Yeah. Well, I was disorientated, and I seen the log there, and I sat there for the whole night.
Wow.
And the next morning, I never moved at all.
Well, actually, you did the right thing, I think, by staying put in that position that you did. I think was very wise, because when people go missing, they tend to walk a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for us if they do stay still. It makes it a lot easier for the dog, because the dog will still go to the scent where they've been. So if we can try and keep the main scent in one area, it's a lot easier for him. Alex done the right thing. He'd lost his shoes. It was the best thing for him to do, was just sit still and hold tight, and it was a relief.
Brilliant. I bet it was a relief for you as well, being found.
Yeah.
Was it a nice feeling to suddenly find someone to...
A nice feeling seeing Paul and the dog as well, but when they came out from the woods, the community was amazing.
You're a popular guy in this little town, aren't you? I've noticed that.
Yeah.
They all know you, don't they?
Famous.
Yeah, you are famous. You will be now.
I'm delighted that Alex and Betty are here. Hello to you both. Alex, what were you thinking about for all those hours that you were sitting there waiting?
It was a nightmare.
Yeah, and you were thinking about your Easter egg, weren't you?
Yeah.
What were you worried you weren't going to get it?
No. I thought, oh, Easter egg, I thought I was going to have a bit before I went away or a bit. I never.
Oh, well, it's brilliant that they found
Yeah.
you. And Betty, I know he had you really, really worried. I mean, he didn't have his mobile phone. He normally had his
No,
mobile.
he normally does. It was a nightmare because you couldn't get in touch, and they thought he might have went somewhere, but it's not like that. So I knew he was missing.
Okay, so you need to normally take your mobile, don't you?
Yeah.
And your dog was with there, and was
Yeah.
he keeping you company and keeping you warm? Was he?
Yeah.
And what was that feeling like when they finally found you?
It was the people and all my friends were delighted when they got found.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And he was pretty hungry and thirsty, wasn't he, Betty, when he was
Yes,
found?
and pretty dirty. Up to the knees in mud.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that you were found safe and well, Alex. And as you can see, he and the family are back together.